We're going to go through some flowers today. I'm going to teach you how to pipe some flowers. This is what we're going to do. So far as the royal icing, I've thought about it. And there are so many different styles of royal icing. Plus, there's a royal glaze. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make a paid tutorial for those that want to learn the differences in the royal icings, because there's some royal icing that when you put it on a cookie, when you go to eat the cookie, you might as well make an appointment for the dentist. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's those that's the soft bite. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you can also do your cookies. You can ice your cookies with buttercream, but you can't stack them. So I'm going to make a paid tutorial about everything, how to ice, how to use royal, what styles of royal, how to ice your cookies, everything about that. But you and Barb and Sue are going to get it for free because you've paid for the class. So we're going.
Oh, okay.
So we're not going to do royal today. I'm just going to send, once we get and we're going to do it tomorrow. But once it gets it edited and packaged like we want it to sell, then I'll send you a link to it so that you don't have to purchase it because you've done paid for the class. Okay. So we're not going to mess with royal. We got so far behind in the last 3 classes because of the internet problems and this. So we're just going to hit on into it today. We've already went over how to ice your cake, how to smooth your cake with the Viva paper towels. We've went over that. We've went over, where's my paper at? Oh, here it is. Okay. We've went over how to make your how to prep your boards, how to get your drums and stuff ready for your cakes. That no cake goes out without a drum.
Right.
Right. We got that, right?
You betcha.
Okay. How many years has it been? We've went over copyright and license stuff. Okay.
Yes.
What you and I discussed the other night, even. Okay.
Right.
We've made 4 different icings. We've made the Swiss meringue buttercream. We've made the Italian meringue buttercream. We've made the American buttercream, and we've made the whipped cream icing. Okay. We've got those 4. We've done those. I showed everybody how to color their icing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, a lot of these things, it's pretty much review for you, but like for Sue's never done a cake before. So Sue, I know you're not, I don't know where you're at. I know you're not here, but okay. We went over how to fill the bags. We went over how to pipe many borders. Okay. Many different borders last week. We did not do the basket weave. We will do that today, but we covered a plethora of borders that will give you the borders that I taught last week are pretty much except for when you get into Lambeth. Those are pretty much your borders that you can really pop your cake to a new level if you use those. We did the daisy last week, was about the only flower that we did, I believe. So today what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do the basket weave. We're going to go over the tips, the most common tips that you will use in piping, the most common. Now, there's a zillion more but these are the most common that you will use.
Okay.
We went over how to write on a cake. Also, I showed y'all how to cut up little squares of your
Right.
wax paper. Use wax paper. Don't use parchment. Parchment's way too expensive for that. No, don't do that. Parchment's way too expensive to do that. But get your little squares, cut them up, get them in a container, have them ready at all times. Have a bucket of little squares because you never know when you're going to need them. So we got those. So first off, we're going to do a little review.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Let me see. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, there. That's clear. Okay. Can we pop to that camera, Mr. Producer? Okay. Here are colors. These with the little dots on them are what's called Chef Master.
Okay.
That is by far the best color that you can buy. Okay. Not that any of these other colors aren't good, but Chef Master is by far the best. And the color will last longer. It's truer to form. So Chef Master. Did I say something to offend you? Is that why you leaving?
Yeah.
All right, bye.
I forgot my pencil and paper.
This is
I got it
class,
now.
Peg. This is class.
Sorry.
So Chef Master is, if you know where you can find it, and if you can't find it, I can find it. I got the hookup, so that's good. Now, every other week at Hobby Lobby, they run their brand of Sunny Side Up. Sunny Side Up. It's
Yeah.
always half price, so it's $1 a bottle. You can't beat that.
Yeah, I gotta go this week because I found out their sale is this week here.
Well, then you better go this afternoon because it'll be over
Yeah.
tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Just start on when it's just on a weekend?
No, it's all week, but they close out their sales on
No,
Saturday night.
No, I'm talking about this coming week.
Oh, okay. Is it next week?
Yes.
No,
For my store.
I was just in Hobby Lobby yesterday, and all of their stuff is 50% off right now.
Really? She told
Yeah.
me next week. Well, I better take my receipt back.
Did it not? Did you buy something off the aisle?
Yeah.
Did you see any 50% signs on there?
No.
Maybe they shift. I don't know, but it's supposed to be corporate wide. But anyhow, okay. Let me get back to.
Okay.
Okay. This one's been used quite a bit. Let me see if I can find another. Here we go. Here we go, Mr. Producer. Americolor. Now, Americolor is a little more expensive, but they have a wider variety of colors. Like this one's watermelon. They have all different colors. Americolor is amazing. They have, like this one is warm brown. They have a crazy amount of colors. You're kind of limited when it comes to the maybe I've used them all. There's avocado. That's Americolor. but you're kind of limited to the colors when it comes to Hobby Lobby. You're not limited to colors when it comes to Chef Master. Chef Master has a bodacious amount of colors, as does Americolor. But for the price, when you go to Hobby Lobby, for the price, $1 a bottle,
Yeah.
you can't beat it. You can't
No.
beat it. You might need to use a little more, you know, a drop. I mean, you only use a drop at a time, but you might need to use a little more when when you're using it. But $1 for this,
Yeah.
because you're not going to get Chef Master for $1 a bottle. All
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You're not going to do
Right.
it. Now, here is, and let me, here we go. Let's go up under here. Here is the Hobby Lobby Bright White. Okay. This is the big bottle, as opposed to their little one. Okay. This is the big bottle. That's why it's $7, but it's also half price whenever they run their half price sale. So, you know, maybe they do different areas of the country, different things, but anyhow, so for $3.50, you get this whole big bottle of white. Now, let me tell you what you're going to do with this white. A lot of people say, Chef Jan, why do you put white in your icing if it's already white? Here's the reason why. Because if you've got white, and especially if we're working with royal, if you're putting white in there, then you put white in your initial batch. White goes in the whole batch of icing. Okay. And what that's going to do, that's going to lock that white in, so that when you start separating out your different bowls of icing to color, those colors are going to have a white base to it. And when you add your drop of whatever color you're using in that small bowl, then that's also going to lock that color in so that there's no bleeding. If there's one thing that I can't stand, is to walk up and to a bakery or you know, even in a grocery store, and they've got a white cake with red border on it, and it's weeping.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah.
It's bad enough to see how they ice the cake, but to see that weeping, that's insane. When all they had to do was add some white,
Right.
and that would lock that color in just like that. So you always want to keep, how many bottles? Right now I got 2 bottles, but normally I have 3 or 4. You always want to keep at least 2 bottles of this at all times on your shelf, because especially if you're doing more cakes now, you know, I kept a ton of it when I was doing cakes, but get 2 or 3 of these bottles when they're half price.
Yeah.
And always, even your American buttercream, you know, now I didn't do it with this because I was just trying to show you how to make American buttercream. But especially, and you'll see it in the video when I'm doing the royal, you'll see it. This is your key right here. Okay, to keep it from bleeding. Of course, you have the gel colors, the Wilton gel colors. Now, by all means, if that's what you've got, I mean, I've got them everywhere. I've got them everywhere. I've got this box that has these colors in it. I don't know. Do you need to see that? Might need to do that for Sue, because Sue hasn't. Okay. So definitely, that's the one red that I will always use above anything Chef Master puts out or Americolor puts out. I will always use the No Taste red that Wilton has put out. Even though it's in a gel, I don't care. I'm going to use that. And so I've got tons of that over there for Christmas stuff and that kind of stuff. But this box right here has all these in it, you know. So this is a good little, and they'll last. They're not the big ones, but they'll last, you know, they'll last a while. But the No Taste Red, write that down. Everybody that's going to be listening to this video, No Taste Red that Wilton puts out is the one to get. No Taste Red.
What did you say to add to the gels when they start drying up?
Glycerin. Where is my glycerin? It's also, you can also find the glycerin on at Hobby Lobby. Where's my glycerin at?
Okay.
In fact, the glycerin is right there beside the colors. Let me see if I can find my glycerin. Pretty good. That's not it. Well, maybe. Is it over here? Hang on. Hang on.
I'm hanging.
Oh, where did my glycerin go? I always keep my, well, maybe I've used it all. Okay. But it's in a little bottle, but you're going to see it. It's right beside the colors at in Hobby Lobby.
You just put a drop in at a time, or what?
You just use one drop at a time, and that is for oh, duh, Jan. Okay, here we go. Right there.
Okay.
There you go. This is
Okay.
also good for your fondant. If you're making fondant sculptures, and your fondant starts drying out and you need some help with that, and it's like, instead of putting Sweetex or Crisco in there to soften it back up, you can use this glycerin even in fondant. This is what I used to use all the time. So, you know, just a tiny bit, and it'll wake your fondant back up to where you, I mean, because, you know, even if you haven't put used Tylose in your what's going on? Why am I not seeing anything? But
put a picture of glycerin up.
Even if you haven't used Tylose in your fondant, this glycerin, you know, your fondant will tend to dry out. So you use this glycerin, and I'm so glad I found you. Hello there. Well, I should have found it. It's right in my bucket full of colors. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, so you use just a drop or two. Now these are, and this is for the sake of those that don't know, which is like Sue and stuff like that. Okay, here is your No Taste Red. Wilton puts this out. You can pick it up. You cannot get Wilton at Hobby Lobby anymore. Hobby Lobby's got their own line. That's why it's Sunny Side Up. So you can get this at Joann's. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it, you know, several different places. Always get No Taste Red. None.
Okay.
And it will do the same thing. It just doesn't have a certain chemical in it to make the red taste like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those that don't know what this looks like, this is what you would purchase at Walmart, Joann's, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Got it. All righty. So that's the gel colors. They're all gel colors, but the ones in the, hang on. The ones in these little bottles are a little more liquefied than the thick ones in the little canisters. I personally, I love these. I love these because the color seems to be more intense and you can manage how much you put in your icing.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get the gel colors out, like I showed you in one of the lessons, which lesson was it?
Last week.
Last week. Yeah. You take your toothpicks and you get out your gel. There's no real way to measure that. So
Right.
a lot of the color, like the color charts, because when you move into doing weddings and the bride or the wedding planner hands you swatches of, you know, like from David's Bridal or from whatever bridal store that they're coming from with the dresses and the stuff, and this is the color swatch, this is the palette that you're going by, you've got to match that palette, okay? And so that means a drop of one, 2 drops of something else. You have to work on the chemistry of it to get the right color. And these
Right.
are so much easier to manipulate than those little buckets of gel. If you're doing stuff on your own, yeah, I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. I thought I did. I have a color wheel, but when you're matching those, that color palette that the bridal, that the event planner's given you, you know, sage, there's like 4 different shades of sage.
Right.
David's Bridal has one thing of sage. Another bridal company has another shade of sage. So you've got whichever one they're dealing with, you've got to match that. And if you don't match it, when it comes time to take pictures, you're in trouble.
Right.
So that's why these are so much easier to manipulate and to use. I highly recommend these, but the other ones will work. If just doing a regular cake or something, I mean, I've got a ton of them over there, but if you're doing a regular cake, by all means, you can use those if you're not worried about matching colors. Now, in copyright stuff, as Peg and I talked the other night about a cake that she had proposed to her. If you want, okay, if you're doing a college cake, even, you can use their colors, but you can't use their mascot. You can't use their logo. Okay, but you can use their colors. You can even write out, like I'm a Tennessee fan. You can write out "Go Vols." You know, you can in your own handwriting. You know, Tennessee has a certain T that they use for University of Tennessee for their ball team, and their colors are orange and white. And so you know, you can match their colors, you can use their colors. That does not infringe on the copyright. Just as that cake you showed me the other night, you can use those colors. But here's where I'm going to bring up something, and all of us, you know, Barb and Sue are all, they might not be with us right now, but they're going to be with us. When Dale and I were in business together, and when I had my business, and I mean, this goes way back. It was way back. I'm going to put a little bit of personal in this, which I don't like to do, but I do. Back when we had our advertising agency, we knew that God had blessed us with that agency. And we in turn wanted to make sure that we blessed him. So anything that we did. Now, I'm not saying we did all church ads. That's not what I'm saying. Everything that we put on the air was not about a church, but it could be. I mean, it was always wholesome. It was, you know, restaurants. Now, if restaurants served beer in their restaurant, we didn't put that in the ad. We would let them know, you know, we're going to talk about your food. We're not going to talk about your beverage. And they were fine with it. because they knew they were getting a quality ad. And, we were getting them in there. And then once they get in there, then they could introduce their own beverage, whatever they had. When I was doing cakes, several times, because I would, at a wedding, it was always a bride's cake and a groom's cake. I don't know, I know that different areas of the country do it different ways. I don't know if up in Pennsylvania, if they have groom's cakes. I know down in the South, you've got a bride's table, you've got the groom's table. Now, so there were times when they would ask me if I would make a Jack Daniel's cake. No. Will you make an Ole Miss cake? Nope. I'll use their colors, but I won't make an Ole Miss cake. You've got, number one, you've got to stay within copyright infringement, and then you've got to stay within God's, what God is telling you to do. And you want to make sure that your business is as godly as possible. So with that, whenever a cake comes in, when an order comes in, look over it and make sure that if Jesus was standing right beside you, which he is, but if he was standing literally right beside you while you're creating that cake, what would he say? Okay. And these are things that we have to think about in every line of business that we do, whether it be cakes or anything else. And that's what I want to make sure that all three of y'all understand. Your reputation, it consists of your product, how you talk to your client, and your reliability. If they know that beyond the shadow of a doubt, there were people that would, by the time, there were people that would come in for taste testing that had never met me in their life, but they knew when they walked in that they could trust me. And by the time they left, they had done writ out a check that would choke a cow, because they knew I was going to give them what they were paying for and above that. So you've got to make a name for yourself. You've got to make your reputation. You've got to know. And then it got to the point, just like I wouldn't do an outdoor wedding. There's no way in Mississippi I would do an outdoor. I did one, and the way they had me set up, my back, as the sun was going down, I was under tent. They had several tents. In fact, this wedding was, what's the Sun Records in Memphis, the one that Elvis first recorded at, I believe, was Sun Records, the big one in Memphis, the historical one. Yeah, these people own that. Okay, so this was a prestigious wedding. And they got tents all out everywhere, outdoor wedding. I'm standing there, I'm waiting, watching the wedding over there, standing there waiting. And I happen to look over at my cake, and the back end of my cake, where the sun is coming down here, so is the back of my cake. It's just literally coming down. So, you get butter out in that Mississippi heat. So I had to quickly fix my cake while they're saying their I do's over here before they come. And luckily, praise God, I got it fixed. But there are things after that. No, not doing an outdoor wedding. I've had so many brides, they would come and sit and talk with me. And then there were certain questions I would ask them first. Is there going to be any alcohol served at the reception? Yes. Well, okay, let's stop right here. We're going to stop right here. Let me refer you to someone else, because I don't do weddings where there's alcohol. Drew the line. Yeah. And I've lost a lot of money doing that, but I drew the line and they knew. So I would refer them on. is your wedding going to be outside? Yes. Okay. Let me refer you to someone else. I don't do outdoor weddings. So people learn, they learn because they hear it through town. Man, have you had her cake? You need to get her for your wedding or your event. You know, you need to get her. But she's strict. She's strict. There's certain things she won't do, and you're going to pay a big price for it, but she's not. I mean, but you're going to get the best of the best. So this is how you build your reputation. Number one, they know you're not going to have anything to do that's ungodly, alcohol. You're not going to make a cannabis cake. You know, you're not going to do anything like that. You know,
Right.
no, you're not going to put a Bible on every cake, but you're not going to make a cake that is not godly. They also know you're not going to work an outdoor event. Your cake's not going on an outdoor event. And well, I was different because every wedding cake I scheduled one wedding per weekend, one, because I went with my cakes. When I would tell them, listen, because nobody knows how to cut a wedding cake.
No, they don't.
Okay. Nobody knows. And I don't care what your caterers say. I don't care what the caterer, I don't care how much the caterer say. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know. Sorry, you do not know how to cut a cake. So I went with my cake. Every one. I went. I got in, I got the cake set up. I made sure everything was okay. And then I'd wait. I would sit there and I would wait in that event hall until time for the event. Some days we sat there all day long, but I would not let anybody touch my cake. I would not let a florist touch my cake. I did the florals on my cake because, you know, you can kill somebody putting a rose in a cake if you don't fix it right. And, you know, I would have my own chocolate that I dip the stems in and let them dry before you insert them in the cake, you know, all of this. And I did all the florals on my cake. There was no florist that would touch my cake. One tried, but she quickly found out that she didn't. But that you have to set your rules. You have to set your guidelines, and your guidelines need to go along with the Bible. Bottom line. That's what every bit of our business, when we had the marketing agency, all the way, my cake business went right along with the Bible. I didn't do anything that wouldn't be pleasing unto God. So, and you know, that's just my spiel. That's trying to help everybody out once they get into, I know, Peg, you do weddings. I don't know, you know, how you do them is up to you. This is what worked for me and my business, and this is what built my reputation.
That's what I do. I go with my cakes too.
A little sidebar on that. And Dale we were at the emergency room. I had named my business after my mama, Martha Lucille. And so we were in the emergency room. Dale had a bout with stones. And so he was in so much pain, and I'm sitting there, and he's over here on the other side of the waiting room, doubled over. And I mean, I couldn't do anything I could do was sit and pray. There was this young couple that came through the doors of the emergency room, and I'm just sitting there. I didn't have on any chef jacket. I didn't have nothing to show that who I was. No Chef Jan stuff, nothing. Because we just took him there, you know, he couldn't stand the pain. All of a sudden I hear over here, oh, that's Martha Lucille's. That's Martha Lucille's. And I'm like, what is going on? And sure enough, this young girl had recognized me from a wedding that she had been at. And her fiance had come in because her mom worked there. She was a nurse there in the ER. And they had come in to see her. And she looked over and saw me sitting there. And she comes running over there, dragging her poor little fiance behind her, and sat down right beside me. And she said, you've got to do our wedding cake. Now, my husband is over here, double over in pain. We're sitting in the emergency room and you've got to do our wedding cake. I gave her my phone, I gave her my business card, and I said, I tell you what, I said, let's get past this right here. And I said, give me a call next week and we'll set up a taste testing. And we're going to do a taste testing with Martha Lucille's. We're going to do a taste test. So this is what you have to do. If you really want to build your business, you got to get out there.
Yeah.
You got to enter competition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've got to get your name out there. You've got to get your product out there. But before you get your product out there, make sure it's the best that it can possibly be. Okay. There is no way that you can possibly make your product any better than what it is. You have done everything that you possibly can to make this the best that it can be, the best that Peggy can make, the best that Barb can make, the best that Sue can make. You have done it. Okay. And once you get to that, then you just start flooding the area. I did, and I'm going to give you some examples. Whenever I went to the orthopedic doctor, I would always carry my portfolio with me. Now, what I did with my portfolio, I downsized it and put it in one of those little photo albums. And I don't care. Yeah, people do. You can put it on an iPad or for a slideshow now or whatever. You can do it then, but not me. I took in my pocketbook, I always had 2 books, one for weddings and one for other event cakes, birthdays, anniversaries, baby showers, bridal showers, all that kind of stuff. I had one for one wedding and one for the other. So I just happened to stop my book off at the front desk and say, this is what I do. And then they'd get to look at out of that one, just out of that office, I had 4 weddings. I had many baby showers. I had many bridal showers. I had many anniversaries. One of the biggest weddings I did came out of that doctor's office. And then, you got your high name folks with 500 and 600 people seeing what you've done, eating your product, knowing what
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 word of mouth. Always carry business cards with you wherever you go. Always carry business cards with you. And I know I'm working on yours, but anyhow, carry them with you. Drop a few. I dropped a few at a tanning salon. I used to be oh my gosh, I craved a tanning salon. I was always at the tanning salon. And so I went up there and I asked them, I said, can I leave some of my business cards here? And all of them I had done cakes for. Sure, Chef Jan, put them in there, put them right there, Out of that, I got a phone call from the radio station because the radio account executive went up to the tanning salon to get them to take out an ad on the radio station, and they saw my card sitting there. So the AE called me and said, are you Chef Jan? I said, yes. She said, can I make an appointment to come and see you? Of course. When would you like to come? She said, whenever. I said, why don't we do this? Why don't I set up a taste testing for you? She said, that would be magnificent. And she said, I want to see about getting you on the radio. I said, fine, come on. She came. We sat down. I had the spread for her. I gave her the whole shebang. And that's when I started on the radio station. But I never paid 1 penny for advertising on the radio station.
Wow.
Not 1 penny. And I would go up there every Wednesday. I would go up there during the noontime hour and I would bring cakes. We would talk cakes. I've got pictures of me standing there. If you ever hear me talk about Magoo, he was the radio announcer. We sit there every Wednesday. I was on during their lunch hour and never charged me a dime. Every
Wow.
remote that they did, whatever business was opening up that called 95.3 out there, it was a country music station. I went with them. I carried cupcakes. They always sponsored the big 4th of July shindig out there. I went with them. I carried cupcakes out the wazoo, free, give them away, Here's business card. I was overloaded with business.
Yeah.
Dale will tell you, I was overloaded with business, but you've got to get out there. You've got to get your name out there. So I said all that to help y'all build your business. That's my business thing for you. So number one, make sure everything you do would be pleasing unto God. And then make sure that your product is the best you can possibly make it. Okay. And that's what I'm here to help you with. Now, what we're going to do.
One question right quick.
Sure.
How many samples do you use at a taste testing?
Okay. What I do, where's my pan? It's a little smaller than a 6-inch, but it was an oval. But you could use a 4-inch. I would make little cakes, 2-layer cakes, and decorate, put a border around it, nothing fancy, just, make it nice and smooth, put a border around it, around the bottom of it, and have it on a nice platter, something like that. I would give them 3 choices of flavors. And I would ask them, when they called for a testing, I would ask them, do you want any fillings in your cake? And if they said yes, then I'd write that down. I had all their information written down. Okay. Now a taste testing back then, I charged $25 for, and that was pretty much just to cover my expenses.
Right.
But I knew I was going to reel them in. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I would tell them, listen, if you book with me, then that $25 goes towards whatever I'm doing, whatever your order is. So I would offer 3 different flavors, set them up. Make the table real nice and pretty. No candles, because, you don't want to accidentally have a fire start. So, but, make it nice, make it pretty, and then I have glass plates. They're in the storage building. I have glass plates that I would serve them with, and I always made sure to serve them with, all the flatware matched. I always had water to wash their palates with after they ate the cake. Don't give them any other kind of drink, because that changes their palate.
Right.
That does not give you a true taste. Water is the only thing you need to give them to wash it out so that they can taste the cake.
Right. Okay.
But I would make 4-inch rounds, 2 layers, and like little small cakes. And put them.
Okay.
I wouldn't put them on a drum. Put them on a really pretty. And you can go down to the thrift store and get you some beautiful little serving platters, small little platters, and make that. Put your cakes on that for your taste testing. But the other thing.
All right. Thank you.
The other thing you need to make sure you have is a order form, so that as they're talking, you can write down everything that they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're back. You're back. Now, if you only want to offer 2, that's up to you. I felt that it was beneficial for me to get the order if I had 3, because let's face facts. Most people's going to say vanilla and chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if they request cheesecake, I have a cheese. I would make a cheese. What was that? I would make a cheesecake and just have a small slice for each one that was coming. And a lot of times the bride's mother, the groom's mother, the best man, the maid of honor, the matron of honor. Sometimes there was 8 people that would wind up at my house to do this testing and to talk about this wedding. And, sometimes the whole family. So, that was, and then when you get into the catering, but we're not talking catering now. So, okay, now we're going to talk. Let's do basket weave first. Okay, so we got our little pastry bag. Oh, dang it, I knew there was something I forgot. Oh, do you have any, and Dale, do you have any pictures in there of, because I know I used to take pictures of some of the taste testings that we did. I didn't know if you had any in the old archive that you could pop up and show. Well, I'm only getting one, Jan. Why are you only getting one? Why? Why, Jan? Why, Jan? Okay. All right. Okay. So are you cool about the whole royal icing thing?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think this is going to be so much better. I was thinking about it earlier and I thought, wait a minute. There's so many different forms of royal icing. Like a dummy. I didn't get that out either. Hang on. Oh no. I know. Oops, sorry. Hang on. I've got tips everywhere. And I don't know if this is still or not. But I believe, thank you, Lord. Yes,
Oh, that's pretty.
What's that? Which one is that?
It's with the pine cones. It looks like a wedding cake.
I can't see it. I can't see which one you're showing her. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. That was a very tricky cake to make because you don't want your pine cones to hit the cake.
How'd you keep them from it?
That's a trick of the trade.
Very carefully, huh?
We doing beginner stuff. We're not doing all that stuff.
Oh, how cool. That's a great groom's cake.
Which one is that?
With the strawberries.
I can't see. Oh yeah, the tuxedo berries, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. All right. So now what we're going to do, let me show you this tip. Oh, I pulled the wrong one. Sorry, hang on, wrong one. Well, it's not really the wrong one, but it is, but anyhow.
Yes, no, and maybe.
Sometimes. Okay, let me show you why. Here we go. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay, see this tip? It has the teeth on both sides.
Okay.
All right. This is the same number tip. I think it's tip 48. Oh, look at that. 48. Okay. As this one, but it's got teeth on one side and flat on the other. Okay. So when you go to get this tip, it depends on what you're looking for. Now, I personally like the versatility of having the teeth on one side and the flat on the other side, because it's like I told you, like we saw last week and on our papers, you know, you can either use this side the whole time, or you can do your verticals with this, your horizontals with this, or, you know, vice versa. So be real careful when you're going to buy this tip. And I mean, unless you just want to do, you know, unless this is the one you want, or buy one of each, it doesn't matter. They're $1 a piece. But so be real careful. It's tip number 48.
Okay.
48. Oh yeah, I did that one too. I forgot. Gosh, all these cakes, I forgot I did.
Oh, I did one similar to that. Wasn't that nice, but it was similar.
Now is that the
The zebra.
yeah, now that bow was actually made out of gum paste.
Really?
I won't make a fondant bow. No. And you shouldn't be making fondant bows in Oklahoma neither, because of the heat and humidity. You should use, and see, that's one thing about using gum paste. And I know this ain't a gum paste class and we're not going to talk about gum paste, but we're going to talk about gum paste real quick. You really need to get into gum paste. Yeah. Oh, I remember that little boy. Oh, he
What
loved that cake. Oh my gosh.
was that gum paste on those buildings and stuff?
Do what?
Was that gum paste for the buildings and stuff?
No, actually that was a toy set his mama had
Oh,
bought.
okay.
And she said, can you incorporate this in the cake? And I said, well, she said, please. I said, okay, I will. All right, now we're going to do, I thought I had pictures of, I used to always take pictures, Mr. Producer. I used to always take pictures of the cakes sitting out on the table and how I had the table arranged and everything with the tablecloth and all. You have 37,000 pictures. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. I take a lot of pictures on my wedding. Okay. That's it. You can tell I've been doing this for a while. All right, now, again, we're going to talk about this real quick. Harbor Freight, $1.99. Okay, this is what you're going to need to do your basket weave, to make sure that your basket weave is straight. You need your verticals. If your verticals are not straight, and I'm going to show you a trick. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. But I'm going to show you a trick. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, that right there. What are you showing? Are you showing her something? Okay.
Yeah.
That right there.
Oh, hamburger. Woohoo.
Oh, that one was a fun one too. That was the groom's cake.
Was the
Okay.
fries made out of fondant?
No, the fries was sugar cookies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's another trick that you have to pay extra for that. Okay, see this right here?
Oh.
This is a technique that's come around a few years back, where you put this all around the edge of your cake. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Please don't let me see a cake of any of y'all's done with this. This is so don't, no. No, not even if you're going to do the ombre. That's just, I will tell you, as a judge, when I would judge events, if that was on a cake automatically. No, not gonna do it.
Look at Dan. Oh my,
What's that?
that cake's as tall as you were.
Which one? Oh Lord, I had many more taller than that. But that
Yeah,
was a good cake. That was a good cake.
that was
That was
very
for the sweetest couple. We had the best time. They it was a little black couple, and they had heard about my cakes, and it took, when I did that one wedding cake, it was like the black community went crazy, and I was doing cakes all over the place. Okay, let's look at this. All right, here we go. The first thing we're going to do, and this shows you in sequence, number one, 45 degrees.
right.
Okay. Now, if you notice the clock, we always use the clock. Okay. And it depends on if you're left-handed or right-handed. You know, the clock, you're always going to pull your verticals down. You're going to pull them down. You're going towards 6 o'clock. That's how you're going to hold your bag is going to be at 45 degrees, but it's going to be at 6 o'clock because you've got to pull this vertical. Boom. All right. Now, when we pull our horizontals, we're either, if we're right-handed, we're going to pull them at 3 o'clock. If we're left-handed, we're going to pull them at 9 o'clock. Do you see that on there?
Yes.
Okay. This right here is your whole guideline right here. Between this, your pressure, and your consistency, that is what's going to make or break your basket weave. Now, if you notice, it says, wait, tip 47.
Yeah.
I have 48. Now, tip 47 is a bit, where's it? Where'd I put it at? I put it on my bag. Daggum, Jan. Okay. The difference in 48 and 47 is, here's the difference. See how wide this is? 47 is going to be just a little bit shy of that. It's going to be a smaller one. 47, 48, you know, as long as it's the flat tip, and of course, your choice of whether you want to get the one with the teeth on both sides or if you want to get that one. You get more versatility out of this one. I mean, I don't see what the use in having the teeth on both sides are because you're not going to see the bottom of it anyhow. But that's beside the point. So 48, this is what we're using today, 48. That says that the guide says 47, but that's the only difference. That's where the difference is in the width of how big it is. Okay. So you're going to pull. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Okay. You're going to pull your verticals. My poor little arthritic hands, aren't they terrible? Golly. You're going to pull your verticals, and then you're going to pull your horizontals. And I'm going to show you how to space them. Okay. Have you ever done a basket weave?
No.
Okay. And if you notice, I'm going to have my bag at 3 o'clock. If we had a clock here, my bag will be at 3 o'clock when I go to pull the verticals. If you're left-handed, your bag is going to be at 9 o'clock and you're going to be pulling this way. Okay. But no matter what, whether you're left or right, your bag is going to be at 6 o'clock when we're pulling our verticals down.
Okay.
Do we understand that?
Yep.
Okay. I hope everybody else does as we're going through it. Peggy's guiding us. Peggy's saying yes. So, okay.
That's
Yeah.
scary.
Let me get some icing in here. Also gonna get me some icing in here. We're gonna use some for my, again, I've got icing from last week. This American buttercream lasts. It lasts, so. Let me put a drop of water in it. My distilled water, where's my distilled water? Oh, here's some. No, no. Let me see. Where'd my distilled water go? I only like to use distilled water in my ice. Hang on. Hang on. $37,000 pictures. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Move this. Okay, so here is our, this is the icing that we did all of our borders with last week. Remember the medium consistency?
Right.
Well, what I do, you can keep this icing out on you can keep it on the counter for a few weeks. It's non-dairy, as long as it's covered. But I always put mine in the refrigerator so that, because that helps it stay longer. But when you do, what happens is it gets a little thick. So when you're using Sweetex, that's just a little couple drops. Let me loosen this up just a little bit. When you're using Sweetex, that Sweetex absorbs the water, and it's not like Crisco. Crisco repels the water. That's why you get the greasy taste in your mouth. So I don't know if Barb uses Sweetex, but Sue, when you're watching this, if you want Sweetex, I got your hookup. I can get you Sweetex. I can get you a 3-pound. I have 3-pound tubs that you can try, but I will tell you this. Sweetex is more expensive. It's going to cost you a little bit more than Crisco, but your product's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It takes it to a different plateau, as does your butter, okay, good. Yeah, see how smooth and pretty that is. Oh yeah, I could just eat that whole thing right there.
Yeah, I'm drooling.
And it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. Okay.
Rub it in.
Rub it in, rub it in. Okay, so, all right, I'm back here now. I'm going to fill up my bag. All right, now, always when you're not using your buttercream, try to keep it covered. Okay. Now we're going to do this right on top of here. Is that all? Is that, can you see that, Peg?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Get rid of all the little things, all the little bubbles, air bubbles. Air bubbles are not our friend. Okay. Do the lobster claw. Remember the lobster claw. We do the lobster claw and we start pressing our icing down. We don't want to press it too hard or too far so that it comes out the end. Okay. Now, how do we do our bags? We got to lock that icing in. Here, we're going to take this part, we're going to fold it over. All right. We're going to take this part. Wilton has some of those little round rubber band jump
Right.
things.
They're
Y'all,
pain.
no. And that, I mean, they gave them to me because I was a Wilton instructor. So I got a lot of stuff given to me, but no, I just, I think I gave them to Logan and Sadie to play with, to have. Okay. So we've got these two sides locked in, right? Now
Right.
we're going to take this and fold this together. Okay. So there's
Okay.
our bag. Now we're going to lock this in. We're going to bring it right here. We're going to push down. We're going to put that right in our hand right there so that the bulk of that icing sits right there. But first, we're going to twist 1, 2. That icing is not going to come out of here that way.
Right.
Okay. It's not going to come out on your wrist. It's not going to come out. As long as you've got that twisted and locked in like that, that icing is locked in that bag.
Yep.
Okay.
Got
So
it.
we're going to look for, we want the teeth on the top. All right. So first off,
Okay.
we're going to start. We want to touch the cake. Let me see. I got to make sure. We want to touch the cake. And then we want to pull. We want to lift our tip. My hand is going from one side to another. Then we go back down and touch the cake again. I moved that, so that messed up. So let's do that again. My hand was, I couldn't, my coordination wasn't working. Okay. That's why I love laminating these things. Okay. All right. Is this in the camera? Okay, good. All right. So we start at the top of the cake. Now, here's a tip. You've got your cake smoothed. You have come in, you have taken this. Let's get to the top camera for a minute, please, Mr. Prusen. Okay. You have come in. Let's do it like this. Around your cake, and you determine how wide you want your basket weave. I like a tight basket weave, so I would do mine every inch. So every inch I would mark, because this is sitting on a flat thing. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Okay. So move. Get out of my way. Get out. Move. Okay. All right. Here's your cake. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. You can see that. All right. My shirt's got bleach on it. Sorry. So that shows you that I try to keep it clean. I get bleach on my, okay. So every inch, you're going to push this in, and that's going to make an indentation, a straight vertical. You don't get no straighter. Okay. That's going, you're going to push gently. Don't go ramming it into the cake, but you just want to make an indentation, something for you to go by.
Right.
Okay. So every inch you're going to go around, and you're going to put your indentation in that cake.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You see how it works now?
Yeah.
Got it?
Got it.
Now, sometimes when you get to the end and you went all the way around and you don't have an inch, but you've got 1.5 inches left. So what you want to do is just split the difference and go right in the middle of that.
Okay.
Okay. And that will be, because every cake has a front and a back,
Right.
every cake. So that will naturally be the back of the cake. Okay.
Right.
So just split the difference. If it's an inch, you know, an inch and a half, if it's 3/4 of an inch, well, then just leave it alone. You know,
Yeah.
if it's anything less than an inch, leave it alone. Don't put a last one there. If it's anything over an inch, just try to split the difference a little bit. Okay. Now,
Okay.
you got that. Understand
that.
that, right? Got it.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. The light came on.
it did.
All right. So here we're back here. And what we've done, and this, I mean, we're just going to pretend here. What we've done, we've come in and we've put our indentation here on, okay?
Right.
Now, this is the only thing. Now, let me make, come on. Can I come back to this camera? Poor Dale's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. A lot of people, this is the hardest part for them to understand about a basket weave. They think that, I mean, in their minds, they think they can go all the way through the cake and pull all the verticals all the way around. No, you work one vertical at a time. So if you're going to do a basket weave cake, if the bride asks you, I want basket weave, you've automatically just upped your price. Okay. Because basket weaves are time consuming. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to work now. Now we can go back down. We can go back down here. Okay. We can go back down here. Okay. Now we're working one vertical at a time. All right. Let's hide this right here. You're going to pull your vertical and then you're going to pull your horizontals. Okay. After you get those horizontals done, then we pull that next inch that we went to, we're going to pull our next vertical. Okay. Then from there, we're going to alternate. We're not doing the top. We're pulling the horizontals in the middles. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then we go to our next indentation, which was an inch over. We're going to pull our vertical. Then we go back. We're going to alternate. We're going to go back to the top and we're going to pull our horizontals. And we're going to alternate like that, back and forth, all the way around that cake. But if you notice here, we have white spots. I called this out to Wilton when they first put these out. And I said, that's not a true basket weave because you don't want to see any white. So they literally, from my phone call, literally redid these. Okay.
Yeah, the second page we got like that doesn't have the.
Okay, that's right, because they redid it. I said, no, if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you know, we're out in the field teaching this and you're showing stuff that's not right.
Right.
So your basket weave is not supposed to have any at all of the cake showing behind it. No air between the vertical, the horizontals, none. Okay. So this is how we start. We start with our first vertical. We pull our vertical. Let's do that. Let's pull a vertical. Let us see. Okay. Now, one tip, when you're at your cake, you want the tip of the tip of your tip, you want it slightly over the edge of that cake. like, here's the cake. We want that. We don't want to start our vertical here. We want to start it over the tip of the cake.
Okay.
So we push it in and then we start coming down.
Okay.
Okay. See how that is?
Yes.
So that locks it in, because what happened if you don't lock that in, you can get halfway around your cake and this right here has fell off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So make sure, go over the tip edge. Don't bring it way over in here. You just want to go over the tip edge and touch this tip into the cake and lock that icing into that edge of the cake and then start pulling your vertical.
Okay.
Okay. I got icing on my.
Now
thing.
that's just the vertical, correct?
That's just, yeah, that's just the verticals. We're gonna lock the horizontals in a different way.
Oh, okay.
I'm out of. We gotta hurry up. Let's see, it's already 2 o'clock. Dadgum, where's the time go? Okay.
Time
lock this.
flies when you're having fun.
All right. So we're touching the cake, we're locking it in, and then we're going to start pulling. All right, we're going to lift the tip and we're going to pull our vertical all the way down and then lock it in.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Now, all right, let's do it here. We're locking it in. We're pulling. Oh, it didn't lock in. Okay. It's hard to lock it in on plastic. Then we're pulling our vertical. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to start with our horizontals. Now, again, we're at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
Right.
What we want to do, we want to determine, because we've got our, whatever you want to go from wherever your indentation is for this one to the indentation for this one.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start over here. Make sure our tip's clean. We're going to start at the very top. We're going to touch this. We're going to lift. We're going to go over that. And we're coming down at the other line.
Okay.
See what I'm doing? Now, to keep it even, we want to take this tip and all we want to do is press a tiny bit of ice and it won't stick to the plastic. Dadgummit. Come on. Anyhow, we want the width of our tip. That's more than what you need, but anyhow, that's the width of your tip. Okay. That's going to tell us how far to come down, because we know that over here, we'll have that same width when we go to pull our other one.
Right.
So we've dotted that, just dotted, not put a glob there, but we've dotted that with this tip. So we know to come right beneath that with our next horizontal. And we're going to pull it straight across. And we're going to stop it at that line. Okay.
Okay.
Next thing we're going to do, I'm ignoring the purple. Okay. We're putting another dot there. We're going to bring this right on across. We're going to lock it in. Another dot. These are the 47. That's why this is so much wider, because all right, now we're going to bring this and lock it in. We're going to make a dot. Underneath that, we're going to pull our horizontal right on across. See that?
Got it. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to ignore this right here because I'm going to carry you on with this. The next thing we're going to do, oh, that was one of my cakes. Yeah.
Ah,
Did you show that one?
that's nice.
Now, see that border around the top? That's I believe it's a reverse shell because I cannot see the cake, but I believe that's a reverse shell. But see, that covers up, you know, when I was saying you go up over the tip edge of the cake, that border is going to cover anything that you've done up there.
Right.
Pulling the verticals. Okay. All right.
Got it.
So here we are. We're at the time to pull the next vertical. So let's do that. Let's do this right here. And notice, remember, we stopped.
Where it was at.
We
That's
stopped
right.
these where I had done the indention, that ancient indention. Okay, that's where we'd stopped them. So what we're
Right.
going to do now is we're going to cover them up. And we're going to follow that ancient indention all the way down. Okay.
Okay.
Now, we're going to take our tip. See this hole right here? It's just the size of the tip. Why is that? Because we use the tip to measure here.
Yes.
So when we pulled our horizontal, that gave us exactly enough room to put our tip in here. Now, I'm going to show you one thing you don't want to do. This is a no-no. You don't want to keep your tip here and do this right here. No. Okay. We want to take the tip and we want to put it down and kind of tuck it under that vertical. And then we slowly start piping. We lift our tip. We come, oh, shucks. We come over and we go down on our next indention.
Right.
Okay. We don't want to build that icing up. See this right here? See what they did?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
I don't know who did that, but they should never, ever have put this out for us to use. That is not, no, you don't do that. So here we come back. Come across, come down, lock it in. Come across. Lock it in. You cannot see any cake in that.
Right. Well, it looks pretty simple, just time consuming.
It's repetitious.
Yeah.
You have to stay with it. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Do it over that so that I can't handle not having that across there. Okay. Again, we're going, this is why we can't go through and pull all the verticals all the way around the cake. We just have to take our time.
Right.
And it's actually relaxing. And here we go with our next vertical. We're coming over the ends. And our tip is lifted. Okay. And again, we're coming back to the top now. And we're pulling straight across. Right here. Pulling straight across. Notice our tip just fits in that hole. And all of that is from these marks that we made in the very beginning. That's what sets the tone of whether or not we've got enough room to do a basket weave the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see that. That's pretty awesome.
So here we go. And we end up with that one. Now, that's why I said last week, if you have somebody that wants a barrel cake and they want a basket weave on that cake, you tell them no. Because there is no way you can sit there, and a barrel cake is anywhere from 8 to 10 inches tall. And it's one, well, it's two cakes put together, but it's done in one cake. So no, that's not, you're not going to sit there and drive yourself insane trying to pull a basket weave over a 10-inch cake.
Now that's a pretty cake.
Which one's that?
With the flowers on it and the which
one was that? Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh, I love that. And that's all done. Let's see. I had my leaf tip. I pulled the vines. The roses were done with tip 104, and the hydrangeas was done with tip 109, 1M. So
wow,
with 3 tips, you can make that cake.
Wow.
That was Sherelle's cake. God love her heart. Okay, so here we are. Now we're back to the second one. We're alternating back and forth. Again, look, that tip fits right in there. Just right. There you go. Right there.
That is nice.
This right here. First, you pull your vertical, that vertical right there, and that vertical's got to be straight. And this right here is where this is your tool to make it straight. You pull that vertical, and once you pull these, your horizontal, those markers right there are going to make or break your basket weave.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try this on JD's cake tomorrow. See if I can do it.
Okay. Now, again, that's what these things are for. Have you got any of them laminated yet?
Yes. Well, no, not today's. I don't. I ran out of laminate.
Okay. If anything, put it down on your table and tape off a piece of saran wrap over top of it.
That's what I was thinking, saran wrap.
Practice this. You've got to understand the rhythm. There is a rhythm to this. If you don't, you've got, and you can get out of rhythm real quick and real easy. So you've got to have your rhythm, and you've got to take your time. So here, let's pull one more vertical, and then we'll be done with the basket weave. Pull one more vertical. We're going to come right here. We're coming up over the edge of the cake, and we're pulling our vertical down. Okay. We're at the top. We're pulling straight across. Straight across. You got to take your time, because if you angle, let me show you what's going to happen. If you angle any, look what just happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to make sure, and again, that tip fits right there. Nice, tuck it right there. Pull it straight across. So look what happened when that,
Yeah.
when you got one out of sync. You've messed with this area here and you're in trouble here.
Big time.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying, take your time and practice, practice, practice. Okay.
Okay.
There's our basket weave.
And you put a border around the bottom.
You
Correct.
put a border around the bottom and around the top.
Now that's some pretty cupcakes. Beautiful bouquet.
What? Oh, that's my key lime.
Uh-huh.
That's my key lime. Oh man, those things, let me tell you something. That is my own, I came up with that recipe, all of it. And that recipe won't go anywhere. Yeah, that was a good one. That one was that cake was in Memphis. Oh, that one I sent to the one with the Pirelli was, I sent to the
yeah.
radio station. But that key lime, that, okay, is that one up, babe? You got that one right there? Okay. That cake right there, Peg, if you make that cake with the Pirelli cookies around it,
Uh-huh.
the chocolate cake with the fresh fruit and everything like that, that was an
Right.
8-inch round cake. That cake right there sells for $75.
That's not a bad price.
So nothing less than $75.
Yeah.
8-inch round. Okay. Oh
Is that-
yes,
is that
there.
a good one?
Okay. That was one of the events, one of the first events that I had done with the radio station. That's Tony Magoo and then Kim Cooper, and they were the morning show radio hosts. And I did a VIP, Holiday Inn had just built a brand new hotel there in South Haven, Mississippi. And so the radio
Oh,
station
that's
invited
basket
me to
weave.
come. Yeah, okay, that is the basket weave, yes. And the rope border around the top. Now the bottom has the reverse shell, but it has rosebuds between each shell.
Okay. That's cool.
Okay, we got that. Let us clean that up so that the ants do not.
Oh, yummy. Berry cake.
Berry cake, I didn't
Oh,
see that.
you showed us that
Oh, yeah.
border last week.
Huh?
You showed us that border last week. Can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, now we did the reverse shell. Can you put that one back up there, babe? Let me see what that. Yes, that's the reverse shell on top and the regular shell on the bottom.
Oh, I can tell now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing it last week.
Yes. Reverse shell is another one that you've got to really concentrate on, because otherwise you'll have 3 lefts and a right and 2 lefts and 14 rights and stuff like that. Okay, now.
Oh my goodness. How do you do those with those different colored tips on the flower?
Is that the one she's seeing right now? Okay.
Yes.
I'm fixing to show you.
Okay.
All that is the way you load your bag with your icing. Okay, let me put this up. Now, let us okay. Let me see. Tip 48, we don't need you no more, honey. We sit you right over here so that you don't go down my garbage disposal. No. I've had too many go down a garbage disposal. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all the medium because we did all the
Oh, yeah.
what's that?
That's with the decorated strawberries on top with the basket weave.
Oh, Lord, that cake right there, yes. Took me a while to do.
I bet.
That was for a big company in Memphis used to order a lot of cakes from me when they celebrated employee milestones. And that one was filled with my fresh preserves, strawberry preserves. And oh yeah, that was a nice cake.
Ah, Christmas.
You're seeing all these things and I don't know what they are.
So pretty.
Yes, I did that one for his aunt. We had a big Christmas shindig at her house and she just loved it. Okay.
Yes, so that's beautiful.
Now I need, okay, here we go. We're going to do another tip. And I thought I had it out here. Oh, my vinegar. Okay, tip 104. You can never have too many tip 104. Never. There is so much that you can do with tip 104. And right now we're going to make roses because
I don't know how.
roses, I bet you do. Roses, roses are always made with a stiff consistency. Are you showing that cake now?
The baby feet.
That the baby feet are white chocolate, white Belgium chocolate. And so are the little feet that surround the edge of the cake. Everything was done with white Belgium chocolate. Yeah, that was a cake for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, remember when we were making our icing? Second week.
Mm-hmm.
When we first get our icing made, that is the stiff consistency. Okay.
Right. Right.
That spoon ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Okay. That's what we want to make our roses, because if we don't, our roses are going to, all right. Now, it's harder on your hands. This is the reason why I always like to make roses ahead of time. And with the buttercream, I just dropped all my little squares. With the buttercream, you can put them in the refrigerator, but it's got to be in an airtight container. Okay. Because the buttercream will absorb all the smells from your refrigerator, as we talked about.
Yeah, cowboy time.
Oh yeah, that's mine. That was a groom's cake that actually sat on top of the hat, one of Tiffany's Western hats, her hat box. But so where was I at?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Oh, the
okay. So
consistency.
anyhow, so we're oh, I know where I was at. Buttercream. Buttercream is really hard, and I know you've got carpal tunnel, but
Yeah.
even, you know, like I've got arthritis in this hand and stuff. So if I would, if I had an afternoon, if I was still doing cakes like I used to, I would take, when I had some downtime, and oh, that's the cake. Put that one up there, please.
The
That's
fountain.
the cake. Remember me talking about the family from the Sun Records in Memphis?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the cake. See where it was sitting beside under the tent?
Ah, yeah.
The back of the cake started, and I had the fountain under it, and I was afraid I was going to be picking icing out of my fountain.
Oh,
That is
boy.
the cake I was talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the back end of it, I looked at it and it was shifting. The whole back of the cake was shifting.
Oh,
And
wow.
it scared me to death. And I was sitting there trying my best. They're still over there. I kept watching them. In fact, I had the DJ. The DJ was a friend of mine. And I told him, I said, I told him, I said, come here. And he came over where I was at. And I said, keep an eye on them and keep telling me what, you know, where they're at in the ceremony. I got to fix this cake. And he looked at it and he went, oh, and when he did that, I got sick almost. But yeah, so that was the cake. But
Oh, wow.
so when let me give you a few tips. When you're sitting around and you've got some spare time, make you up a recipe. You can half the recipe if you want to, it doesn't matter. Make you up a recipe of ABC and sit there and separate it into all different colors, and make a bunch of roses. Okay. Put them in the refrigerator. Let them harden back, because the Sweetex is going to harden those things like rocks. Okay.
Right.
And once they're hard, you can either put them in the freezer, or you can keep them in an airtight container and keep them in your refrigerator down in the bottom shelf or something like that, you know, to keep them away from anything. Don't put them in a drawer with onions. Okay. But
Okay.
then that way, if you have a cake that you need to put a few roses on, you pull the roses out, let them come to room temperature, take your scissors, pull them off the paper, place them on your cake. Boom. Just as easy as that. Okay.
Wow, that's a pretty one too.
What is that?
It's the quilt.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. That was
When I grow up, I'm going to be like Chef Jan.
oh, no. I got 3 kids that'll tell you not to be like me. No, I didn't say that. Okay, so we're going to put here, let me show you. We're going to put our 104. Now, we also have a 101. Why am I getting feedback? But we also have a 101. You can make small roses with this one. And those would be for it. Like if you had an order of pedophores, or if you had an order of even dipped strawberries, you can always put a rose on it. Put a rose at the top of the berry to dress it up. If you're doing mini cupcakes, the small ones, you can use these mini roses. It's the exact same technique. It's just that this is a much smaller tip and it's going to make a much smaller rose. I love the little petite roses, and we'll use these a lot when we do the Lambeth. A rose will be made out of the 101. You will not use a 104 tip on Lambeth. Lambeth is all about small. They want small, intricate designs, intricate, and it's all made with royal. But so I want to show you that, and I know that, I know you probably already know it, but this is for Sue and for Barb. But that's the difference. This is a 101. And why am I not? Thank you. Okay. This is the 101 and this is the 104. Now, you can never have too many of the 104s, and I'm going to show you why today, because there are so many flowers that are made with the 104. All right. But this one in particular, you can use it for buttercream to make small flowers, small rosettes. In fact, that cake that I just showed, or that Dale just showed you, that I had rosettes between each one of the shell, that was these right there, with a little green leaf off of it. Okay. All right. We're going to use this one today. I'm going to put it right on this bag. Yes, I know that I've still got some blue in there, but you know what? It's not going to matter one iota. Okay. Never remember, these are plastic, so don't go romping down on tightening these things. Okay. All right. So we have our thick. So thick icing. Okay. Stiff consistency. Now, here's the other tip we're going to use. It takes 2 tips. Well, I don't use this tip when I'm making roses on my own, but to teach it takes 2 tips to make a rose. This is tip number 10. Tip number 10. Okay. This is going to be the base of our rose right here. All right, the base. So we're going to put a little bit of icing in there because we don't need a whole lot, because all we're doing is the base. A little bit of icing in there. Put enough to where you can maneuver the bag, but you don't need it near as much as you're going to need in the other one. I didn't color this icing, so I just thought about that. But y'all know how to color. Make sure all air bubbles are out. Make sure all air bubbles are out. Okay, set that over there. Now, I know this has blue in it, but I'm going to use it anyhow. It's not going to hurt it. There's not enough in there to mess with it. Go right on down in now. Peggy, I thought you knew how to pipe roses. That's what you told. Didn't you teach your son how to pipe roses with his soap stuff?
No, ma'am. He learned that on his own because I didn't know how to make them.
He's fixing to learn. Well, you just learned the basket weave. You learned a lot of borders last week. Have you practiced any of them?
No, I haven't, but I've got the icing made to do that. It's kind of hard to do when you got 7-year-olds around for 14 hours.
He's not there 24 hours a day.
Huh?
He's not there 24 hours a day.
Well, 14 is pretty close to it. That's a pretty cake.
Which one's that?
It's square with the round on top. And
Oh, that was
orange.
a sweet 16 cake. Oh my gosh, that was,
okay.
yeah.
I got 2 of those coming up.
What kind of themes are you using on them?
Well, Helen's is going to be basketball. The other girl, I haven't gotten her order yet. She better hurry. It's in August, so I need to know what she wants.
Okay. All right, so we have 2 bags. Now, they're all different size nails. These are flower nails, okay? All different we're not, well, I might use this one today. I might just use this one today, but this is one. This is another one. This is the one that you're going to use the most, and it's the number 7. Now I have it marked because there's a certain flower that you use that instead of putting something on there, I just mark the nail. Okay, whatever. All right, now we're going to make a rose. So we got to put some glue on there. We're going to take this is some stiff stuff. Man, this is going to be fun. Okay, we're going to glue our paper on. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to pull this up so I got some room. Is that still in? Is that in focus?
Yes.
Okay. I love the fact that it's working like this, that camera's working like this now. It's going to be much easier when we do cookies. I do the cookie thing. Oh no. Look at that. Can you see
Whoa,
that?
that's a big one. Yeah.
Whoa.
That could have been a lot of fun.
That would have been an ugly sound. Okay. Is that ready now? I thought it was ready before. This is some stiff stuff. Man, remember the paste that we used to use in elementary school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Dadgum, look at that. Come on now. I ain't gonna mess with you. I'm not gonna mess with it much more. I'm just gonna let it go. You got a lot of flowers to learn. Okay. Okay. Now, where did my
Up the front.
I know I don't have my, where'd my thing go? I'm gonna use this, I guess. I'm gonna clean it off with this. Okay, always, always, always keep your tip clean. Okay, now we're going to make, imagine a nickel being right there in the middle. Let me see. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me take one of these tips. And I know I'm fixing to. Okay. I know I'm fixing to pipe right onto the Sharpies, but we're not going to use this. Okay. Imagine a nickel, and you might want to even, if you've got several of these, I keep several of these nails. I've got a ton of them in there, but well, I shouldn't say a ton, but anyhow, I've got this one marked for this. And if you want to mark one with the size, take a nickel and put on there and just go around it, because that's the size base that we're going to need to pipe this rose, because we want this rose to stand up. And we're doing 2 different types of roses. We're going to do the old-fashioned Wilton rose, and we're also going to do the new style ribbon rose. I do not like the ribbon rose. I don't use the ribbon rose, but some people do, and so be it. So I will teach it. Okay. Now we're going to put the tip right on the nail, and we're going to start pressing out, and we're going to press, and we're going to press, and we're going to press as hard as we can to get that circle filled up. Okay. I'm just going to let it off for a minute. So we've got the circle filled up. All right.
Okay.
We're going to keep going, and we're going to keep piping, and we're going to keep slowly raising our tip. When we get to the top, we're going to let off the pressure, and we're going to twist off. Okay. To where it looks like a Hershey Kiss. Mine's kind of sideways because I was doing it sideways. Okay. So this is what we have. We have a Hershey Kiss. Were you able to see what I was doing?
Yes.
Okay. So what we do, we press. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right, we've got the tip right there. We're on it. We're on the nail. And we got to start pressing the icing out. Wait a minute, I got to get this over here where you can see it. We're pressing the icing out, and we're wanting it to stay in the center. And as it fills up that circle, then we slowly start coming up. Slowly build. And when we get about like that, we let off the pressure and we twist off. If we have a tail, we mash that back in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've got what is known as a Hershey Kiss. Now, we're going to take our other bag with our 104. We always want to make sure that the big end is down. We want the skinny end at the top. Skinny end at the top, big end down. Now, we have the tip kind of angled. All right, the tip is not, we're not going straight in to this. Is there any way that I can get this camera? Let me see. I don't know if this is going to work. I know Dale's probably back there cringing. It's upside down though, isn't it?
What's upside down?
I'm trying to get. Okay. You can see that, right?
Yes.
My mound is kind of wonky now. You want your mound to be as straight as possible. Okay. Now, here is our tip. We don't want to go straight into the tip and into the mound. We want our tip to be angled. We want to angle our tip. Okay.
Okay.
So we've got about half of that mound. See where half of that mound comes halfway up the tip?
Yes.
That's where we want to start. We want to lock in our icing, and we want to start pressing, and we want to bring this around, and we're going to lock that down. Okay. That is our core. And if I hadn't, I mean, I've got blue in here. The base should always be the same color as this icing so that you don't see the base in the middle.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretend you don't see that. Pretend it's all one color. All right. Now
Okay.
the first row of petals, there's going to be three. So what we're going to do right here where this came over, we're going to start right here, right beside it. See where the tip's going in right beside it?
Yeah.
And we're going to start pressing out. We're going to lift up and we're going to come down and lock it in. Now we're going to go right behind that. We're going to start again. We're going to lift up, we're going to press, we're going to lift up, and we're going to lock it in. We're going to come right behind that one. We're going to lift up, we're going to press, we're going to come around, and we're going to lock it in. And there's the first of our rows.
So you're doing kind of a half moon by
Yes.
starting at the
We're-
bottom.
Let me see if I can. Where's my styrofoam? Dadgummit. Okay, watch this. We're pressing it in,
Uh-huh.
we're lifting up, and we're coming down.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Press in, lift up while we're turning, and we're coming down.
Okay. Gotcha.
Thank you. Now I got icing all over my hand. Okay, so the first one was 3 petals, right?
Yes.
Now we're going to do 5.
Ooh.
Okay, so right here, we're going to bring our tip down some. And we're going to start, the petals are going to be shorter. Okay, there's 1. We're bringing we've come down here, we're coming right behind that petal. We're starting the next one. 2. We start the next one. 3. We start the next one. 4. We start the next one. 5. Okay. So far, that's what we have.
All right. That's very pretty.
Now we can stop there for a small rose. We can stop after the 3 and have just a small rosebud.
Yeah.
But let's go make the full rose. The last one's going to be 7. So at that
Ooh.
point, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom of this mound. And we just start 1, 2, 3. And we're turning the whole time right here. We're turning 4, 5, 6, 7. And there is our rose.
Okay. That one's a little more difficult to follow.
We're going to do it again.
Okay.
So here's 1 down. Now you see how, I don't know if you can see it or not. Now you see how the color variation in there?
Yes, I do.
Because I left that blue icing in there.
Yeah. It's pretty that way.
It is. It's very pretty. Okay, so we've got that one. Now let's try it again. Let's see if we can do it again.
So is it just the base of the tip that's up against the mound?
Yes, that's where you start. You start, I'm not going to draw another circle out,
No,
but your base, boom, you're right on that. Boom,
okay,
boom. Can you see that?
I can, yes.
Boom, boom. Can you give me the other camera? There you go. Do I need to tighten up the sharpness on this? The white is, okay. Okay, so here we go. We're right up against the tip. And then once we start pressing the icing out, we're slowly, we've lifted the tip barely off of the nail, but we're filling up a circle that's going to be the size of a nickel. Once we've got that circle made, we're going to start building the mound. And then we get to the point to where we want it. We let off the pressure. We twist off.
Okay.
And we've got us a mound. And to be honest with you, this icing is so thick, you can manipulate it to look more like a Hershey Kiss. Okay.
All right.
You got that?
Got that.
I know it's hard to see since it's all white.
I can see it with that purple basket behind it.
Okay. All right. Now let's start with our first bud on the rose.
Where'd you go?
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
I had to clean my tip off. Now remember, we're only putting we've only got the tip halfway. That mound is only halfway up. Let's see if I can do it here. Oh, I'm knocking my mound over, trying to see where I'm at. Okay, so the mound is only halfway up on that tip. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to turn our tip. Remember, we're not going straight in. We're going to twist our tip just a bit to where it's at an angle. And we're going to be right here. We're going to start pressing and turning at the same time. We're coming around. We're making our bud and we're locking in that icing.
Got it.
So that's,
yeah.
that's what we have. So now the first round of petals are 3. So we're going to come right behind where we came down to lock it. Okay. We're coming right behind there. Boom. Okay. And we're going to put our tip there. We're going to start pressing out, turning, lift, and lock in. There's our first petal.
Okay, so is the bottom of that tip touching the base or is it just?
Yes,
at the
yes,
beginning? Okay.
yes. Until you start pressing your icing, then you don't want your tip touching that base because it's gonna pull your icing.
Okay.
You all
Just at the beginning and end.
Just at the beginning and the end. Let's do it again and I'll show you. You've got your tip in that icing. It's right behind it. You start pressing, you pull your tip out, lift it up, pull it down, lock it in.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got one more to do. We put our tip right there behind it. Press, come out, come down and lock it in. And there's our first 3 petals. That one kind of messed up on me, but my tip wasn't cleaned. All right, now we do 5 petals. So we're going to bring our tip down some. Bring our tip down some. We're going to do smaller petals, a little smaller, because we got to get 5 on it this time. Lock in our tip, press, let go, let it off, start up and go down. 1. Do it again. Put your tip in the mound, start pressing, come out of the mound, lift up, come down. 2. Come back at the beginning. There you go. Up and down. 3. Press in, pull out, bring it up. 4. Then here we go with the last one. Up and over is 5. And there's our. Can you see that? Is that in focus?
It's a little blurry. There you go. That's pretty.
Is that in focus, honey?
The colors behind it are more focused than the flower is.
Okay, that's blurry. I got to turn it back. That should be it right there.
That's it right there. There you go.
Okay. So we've got our very first rat petal. We've got our 3. And then we just got done doing our 5. So now we have 7. Let me clean my tip off real quick. Okay. 7. And we're going to be pretty much hanging out at the bottom of the mound. All right.
Okay.
Right before, remember we start before the end of the last petal. Remember that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now this time our tip is straight up and down. We're not at an angle. We're straight up and down. We're putting our tip in, pressing up, lifting. 1. Start right before the end of that one. Push, come out, go up and down 2. See how that?
Yes.
Okay. Right before the end of that, we press, come out, go down 3. Press, come up, go down 4. Press, come down 5. Press, come up and down 6. And press and come down 7.
Very good. Yeah,
There is
that's
our
pretty.
roses.
I like the variegated. That's pretty.
I love the variegated roses. Oh my gosh, yes. They're beautiful. Okay, so you think you've got that? Do we need to do it again?
Yeah. No, I got it.
Okay, because we're fixing to do the ribbon rose then.
Okay.
All right, now the ribbon rose starts out the exact same way with the mound and the first wrap petal. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So we're going to press, 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 press. I just ran into that air bubble. Here we go. We're coming up. Little at the time. Little at the time till we get to where we want. Let off the pressure on the bag and twist off. Okay. Now, Shuckles, hang on a second. Can't believe I still don't know how to do all this stuff.
Like a bicycle, you don't forget.
This has been my love for years. So I think I got it. I don't know. I think I'm good. I don't think
Oh,
I'm,
yeah. I
I'm
think
good.
you figured it all out.
I think I'm, you know,
Oh, I've seen this cake. That is absolutely beautiful.
that's Lambeth. That is pure
Yeah.
Lambeth.
Wow.
Lambeth method.
That is spectacular.
Once you learn the Lambeth method, there is so, I mean, it opens up a whole different thing for piping and creating cakes. Okay, here we go.
Wow.
We're gonna do the ribbon rose. All right, so we've got our mound. We've got our mound.
Okay.
Our mound is a little lopsided, but that's okay. Help him. I help him. There you go. All right. Again, we're going to do the first loop is going to be the same as the other rows. That is it's going to be the same. So
Okay.
remember, we're halfway. I can't see my monitor. Oh, hang on. I got to get to where I can see my monitor. Okay. So we're halfway up. Remember,
Right.
we're going to bury that bottom part of the tip is in the mound.
Right.
All right, we're going to start pressing. We're going to lift up just a hair. We're going to press, 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 turn, 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 come down and lock that in.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Got it.
instead of doing the petals, we're going to start doing ribbons. So now what we're going to do, and you've got to be able to twist this right here. This right here is where you're really going to make a difference in your rows right here. And I used to sit for hours and just watch TV or whatever I was doing. If I was studying or whatever, I'd have a flower nail in my hand, and I'd just be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because that's where this ribbon rose gets its significance from. Okay. So we're going to start again right behind the end of that first petal. Okay, right
Okay.
back there. We're going to hold the tip. We're going to bring the tip in some, okay, because we want the middle of the rose to be closed in on this one. So we want the tip to be kind of straight up and down. We're going to
Okay.
bury the bottom of the tip into the rose, and we're just going to start pressing. Shuckles. Let me start that over again. Let me get that off of there. Close enough. Okay. We're going to start pressing, and we're going to start going all the way around. Okay.
Okay.
So we have one ribbon around the rose.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now for
Yeah.
the next ribbon, we're going to come down just a bit. My rose is kind of crooked on here. We're going to come down just a bit, and we're going to, this time, instead of having the tip straight up and down, we're going to open the tip out some. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to do the exact same thing, but see, that's where the end of the ribbon was at. So we need to go to the opposite side and start. So We've got our tip just a little bit out, not straight up and down, little out. We're going right below that ribbon, and we're going to start pressing, and we're just going to keep rolling, 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 holding it right there. Boom, finished. Okay. It's just a ribbon rose, no fancy ups and downs, but it turns out to be really pretty. I don't use them, but many people do because they never can get the rhythm of the petals. Okay, that's where we ended. So what do? We go to the opposite side to start the next ribbon. Now, this time, okay, so you see that's where we ended, right?
Right.
All right, we're going to the opposite side to
Right.
start this time. Always go to the opposite side for your next ribbon. We could stop there. We could
Yeah.
start there. We could stop there if we wanted to. That's a nice, I mean, you like all different sizes of roses on your cake. We could stop there with that, but we're going to keep going. Now, the tip's going to be out a little bit more this time. We've got it underneath that bottom. And here we go. And they're off. Okay.
It is pretty, but not as delicate as the other one.
It's not as delicate, no, but if you don't, this one is kind of another version for those that cannot seem to get the rhythm and all of it going with the petals, the 3, the 5, the ups, the downs, the behind this one and all that. So there's where we ended off that one. We're going to go to the opposite side. This will be our last time. And our tip is out like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Start pressing, turn, 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 press, turn, press, turn, turn, press, turn, press, turn, press, turn, press, turn, press, turn. All right, peel it off.
Nice.
There is our rose. That is a ribbon rose.
Well, it looks a lot easier, but it's still not as pretty as the regular.
It is a lot easier, but I'm not for easy when it comes to decorating cakes. So let's look at these. Let's see. There's the difference.
Yeah, there is a big difference.
Yeah. But if this is too much to handle, and some people just can't get the rhythm, some people can't drive a stick shift, you know?
Right.
Okay, so they drive an automatic. Yeah. But if they can't get it, they can't get it. And so then that's when this one comes into play, because this one is you know, just press and turn, press and turn.
Right.
These are, there's a lot more involved in these. But I would encourage you to sit down once Dale gets this link done and I can ship it out to you. Sit down and make these roses with me while I'm doing it on the screen. And you can stop, back up, redo it, stop, back up, redo it. Okay. And practice this. Okay. And I go ahead and practice the ribbon rose. Why not? Okay. Now, begonia again is with the 104 tip. Now, here's the deal. This 104, one of the reasons why I'm saying it is because my hands get real hot when I'm piping, real hot. And I normally have extra bags sitting beside me, but I didn't today. But since my hands are so hot and have broke this icing down, it's down into the medium consistency size thickness. So to do carnations and to do begonias, you're going to need medium consistency. You're going to need tip 104. Write this down because this ain't nowhere for you to. This is not in the notes. I'm just talking this one through because I hadn't planned on doing this one, but that's okay. We're going to do it. I want to make sure y'all get your money's worth. Okay. I didn't tear that one real quick and real straight. We're going to do carnations. Carnations and begonias. I use mainly. Do you have any of my my begonia cupcakes? My flower cupcakes? I use a muffin pan, a bigger muffin pan to make my cupcakes, because if somebody's going to pay me $3 a cupcake, I want to make sure that they've got what they pay for. So we're going to use this big one since I don't have a cupcake to make it on. Okay. Yep, that's them. That's them.
Oh yeah, that's what we saw. That's what I was asking about a while ago.
Those are begonias. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let me see. Is this? Make sure this is all in. Okay. Yeah, you can see the wrinkles in my hands. So yeah, it's
I got more.
all right. Now we've got our cupcake here. This is our cupcake. This is the top of our cupcake. Now, do we need to cover the entire top of the cupcake? No, 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 no. No, we don't. Don't ever worry about covering the whole top of the cupcake because it's not necessary. You're going to be putting enough icing on there. So if they have a problem with that, no, don't cover it. So we've got our 104 tip again. Notice the big end is on the bottom. Okay. What we're going to do an upside down U. We're going to do an upside down horseshoe all the way around. Okay. So we've got the tip laying flat on our cupcake. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to start in the middle and we're going to start pressing, and we're going to come up. We're going to come down and we're going to cut it off. Okay. Next thing we're going to do right beside it, we're going to come up. We're going to come down, cut it off. That's what we're doing. We're doing a series. We're going to go all the way around our cupcake, doing the ups and the down, cut it off. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, we got a little space at the end. What we're going to do, we're going to lift our tip up a bit instead of having it flat down on the cupcake. We're going to lift it up, whereas not to mess with these tips. So we're going to lift it up a bit. We're going to get up underneath that. We're going to push. We're going to lift, and we're going to come down, cut it off.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Now we got another row to do. So what we're going to do, we're going to lift our tip, and we're going to lift it, but we're also going to turn it up. Because this time, the first one, it was slapped flat.
Right.
It was solid flat on our, we was going up and coming down. All right. Now we're going to have it up, but we're also going to have the tip like this, not flat, but like this. Okay. See the difference?
Okay.
So when we make this petal, it's going to come up and go down.
Okay.
Okay. I hope I got enough ice in this bag to do this. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Little Susie.
Push everything I possibly can to. Yeah, because see, this stuff is so warm now, sitting in my hand. It's good medium consistency. Okay. So we've got this. Now, again, we're going to lift our tip up and we're going to start doing up, down, up, down, up, down. When we come down, see that spot right there, that empty spot?
Yeah.
That's where we're putting our tip at the next time, so that we can fill that in. Up, down. That tip didn't. Up, down. Up, down. Now, again, we're at the end, so we're going to have to make sure we don't mess up that tip, that petal. So we just come up and go down. Okay.
All right. Very
Now,
pretty.
we're going to do this one more time. And this time the tip is going to be straight up and down.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to do 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. We got one more to put in there. Down. Okay. Then to finish it off with our tips still being straight up and down, we're going to do a simple S. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Huh. Well, how
There's our
neat.
begonia.
Very nice.
And that's what
That
you
looks
saw
pretty
on that
simple.
cupcake.
Yeah, that looks pretty simple.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it is. It just looks.
Well, I mean, yeah, tell me how simple it is first time you try it. Okay. Call me and say,
What did you do here?
yeah, how'd you do that again? All right, now we're going to make a carnation. I'm going to have to add some icing in here. I'm out of icing. We're going to put some of this medium consistency in there. Let's put some medium consistency in there. Go on down in now.
Carnation's my favorite flower.
Really?
Yep.
Mine's a poinsettia. I always get corrected when I say it, but that's all right. I got my own vocabulary.
The poinsettia's way I say it.
Yeah, I got corrected one time by a guy that used to work for Dell. He quickly learned he don't correct me. Don't you know it's poinsettia? And I said, don't you know you talking to somebody can whoop your butt? I think he's from the north, so he can't help himself.
There you go.
I'm not saying nothing about you, Miss Barbara Lynn, because you're country, so you're North Country, but that's all right.
My mama's from the north. I'll tell her what you said.
Okay. Well, she says poinsettia.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, she cool. She good. All right, now again, we've got the 104 tip. Got the 104 tip. Now, this is our cupcake. We're going to do things a little different this time. Instead of doing the round up and down, we're going to do it a little bit different. Because carnations have a feathery edge to them.
Right.
So we're going to, again, still having it flat to the cupcake. We're not in the middle, but we're starting about 3/4 of the way out. We're going to come up. We're going to go straight down, up, straight down, up, straight down, up, straight down. And we're turning the cupcake as we go, and then we're going to stop. Okay.
Okay.
So we've got the feathery edge to that.
Okay.
We're not going to do that all the way around. We're going to do different little segments. Here we go. We're going to do it again. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And they don't have to all be in even, because a carnation is not always perfect.
Right.
So here we go again. Tip flat, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, stop. Do it again. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, stop. And then we finish off. We bring our tip up like we did before. Bring it up. And we do a couple up downs. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's the outside edge. Now that's a lot of icing already.
Sure
Okay?
is.
So we're not going to spend a lot of time making a lot of layers. So we're going to come in here. We're going to lift this tip like this. We're going to lift the tip like this. Sorry. There we go. And we're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Right? Still in little segments. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We'll fix that in a minute. One more segment. Got to lift the tip. Up, down, up, down, up, down. All right. Now, this last time, the tip is going to be straight up and down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We go all the way around and off with that.
There you go.
And there's our carnation.
Pretty, pretty.
Okay. Now, let me see if I can see the difference in the begonia and the carnation.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what else is there. Okay, we're going to do a half rose that you can put on the side of your cake. And I don't know if I'll be able to do it with this. That changed over, but we're going to try it. Okay, we're going to do a rosebud. Hang on, let me make sure I got this icing is Okay, it'll work. All right. Now, we're going to do a rosebud. We've got our tip cleaned, hopefully. Always the big end is down. Big ends are always down. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the middle, we're going to put the big end right at the middle, and we're going to start pressing out. We're going to go up and we're going to go down. Okay. We just did that one a while ago. Now we're going to put this tip up underneath. See how that's done right there?
Yeah.
When we came down, we had a lift to it. So we're coming in underneath and we're pushing, boom. And there's our rosebud.
Well,
Okay.
how cute.
Now let's try that again so I can show you real quick. It's really, and the edge of it, of course, you'll fill in with a leaf. Okay. But we're going to come up. We've got the center of our tip in the middle of the thing. We're going to come up, come straight down, cut it off. Okay. And we've got that lift. There's the nail. There's the icing, but here's the way it sits on there. It's got that lift. We want to go up under that lift and start pushing. And if you notice, this tip does not move until I'm ready to cut it off. Okay.
Okay.
We're coming underneath that lift straight. We've got the tip flat there. We're going to start pushing. Push, 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 push. Stop and cut it off. So there's our rosebud. And right here, where we cut it off to hide that is where we put our leaf at.
Yeah.
These you can make a ton of, like I was saying, and put them in the refrigerator. Now, did you notice how my tip did not move?
Yes.
Except push. So we're right in the middle. We come up, we come down. Oh, sorry. Come up and we come down. We got that lift. Tips up underneath there. Start pushing, 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 pushing. That tip has not moved until we're done. Let off the pressure, cut it off. There's our rosebud.
Cool.
Okay. Got that?
Cool. Yep.
All right. Now we're going to do a sweet pea. And no, its name is not Patsy. Okay. Now, kind of the same thing, but not. Oh, that made a lot of sense. All right. Still got our 104. Our 104. That 104. That's like I say, you can't have too many of them. All right, you're going to come up and you're going to come down. And then over here on this side, you're going to come down and around. Then on this side, you're going to come down and around, and there's your sweet pea.
Yeah.
Come down and around. Come down and around.
Cool.
Okay. Let's see what else. do a tulip real quick. Oh, I gotta take the tip off first, duh. All right, now we're gonna use the tip 32, the star tip, to make a tulip. Okay. I gotta make sure I remember how to do this. Okay. There's our, I had to remember how to do it. Okay. We got our tip 32. Now, tip 32. Okay. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to start pressing and we're going to come up and we're going to slowly let off the pressure. Boom. Okay. That's kind of like the slug that we don't want when we're doing shells. So, all right. Now, what we're going to do with the tulip, we're going to take and see our tip is kind of halfway on top of that.
Uh-huh.
We're going to start pressing and we're going to come up and we're going to kind of let off the pressure. Oh, shucks. Kind of hard to do it sideways. Anyhow, let me finish this one off and I'll do another one. Then you're on this side and you come up and you come around. Now it's not wanting to cooperate at all. Got to get some more iron.
After what?
Get some more iron.
Oh, okay.
My hands get so hot when I'm piping. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's good. And I'm making a mess.
Fortunately, it's washable.
Huh?
I said, fortunately, it's all washable.
Yeah, and I have to wash it too. Okay, let's try this again. All right. We're going to come up from the bottom. We're going to come up. We're going to let off the pressure. And there's that. We're halfway on that mound. We start up the top. And we come out. And there's that. Again, we're halfway on the mound. On the other side, we come up the top. Let off the pressure. And there's that.
That's better.
So hard to do it sideways, but that's a tulip. tip 32, or you can do it with any star tip you want to do it with. Okay. Let's see. Get one more bag. Okay, now I don't like this one, but I know it's popular. You won't ever see it on one of my cakes, but I'm going to teach you the proper way to make that big rosette that I can't stand. That to me is a lazy man's way of, I mean, because seriously, if I need to pop out some cupcakes in a hurry, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Ugh. You're gonna use tip 1M. You can use tip 2D to give it a little bit of a different effect. You can use 4B. That has more prongs on it, so that's going to give it more. But anyhow, I guess my point has been known about that one. All right, so and I'm sure you already have done several of these, but I'm going to show you the proper way to do this one. All right. The rosette, as we learned the other day, golly, I got blue icing everywhere. Ugh. The rosette, we start off with a mound. And it's like a clock. We take our mound and we take our mound is in the middle. And our surface, what we're piping on is like a clock. And what we want to do is right here, right here. It's not here, it's right here. All we want to do is we want to switch. But once we get our mound made, we don't come off of that mound. We don't come around the mound. We stay on the mound halfway. Okay. So we've got our mound built right in the middle. So now we're going to shift to 9 o'clock. We're going to come up to 12 o'clock. We're going to come down to 3 o'clock. We're going to come up to 6 o'clock, and we're going to let off we're going to let off of the pressure, and there's our, and keep going right on around the clock so that this tail swoops in with the rest of it, and it's not swooping out. So we come and we make it, we go around the clock, but we never got off of that middle mound that we made. We don't come out here and go around the mound. I've seen so many of those till I could just scream. We don't do that. We stay on that mound right there. And all we do is shift our wrist to come out to 9 o'clock, up to 12, around to 3. We come to 6, we start letting off the pressure. We head to 9 o'clock, and by that time we're done.
Okay. Okay, that's very pretty.
That is a rosette. That, okay. But, you know, a lot of people use them. I used them on a cake not too long ago because I needed a filler. And, you know, there it is. There it is. Okay, let me put that there. We're going to do that one more time. And then it's going to be question time. Okay. Right here. Right here. I want you to tell me what to do.
Start your mound in the middle.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise it slightly towards 9 o'clock. Circle around to 12 o'clock. Circle around to 3 o'clock. Circle around to 6 o'clock. Circle around to 9 o'clock and let off. Ta-da!
There we go. Good deal. Okay. Woo!
Uh-oh.
Almost dropped down. Almost dropped down. Now, this right here is not, that right there is not a rosette.
Right.
Don't send me a picture of your cake if it's got one of these on here.
Okay.
Okay. You see what I just done with that, right?
Yep. What I've done.
There's the mound. I went all the way around the outside of the mound.
Right.
No, 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 no. Okay.
Okay. Stay on the mound.
On the mound. We're just shifting barely. We're still on that mound. Come around 12, 3, 6. Back up at 9.
Makes a major difference.
Do you see the difference in that?
Yeah, big difference.
They don't even look the same.
No.
This is this right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm getting things through her head. Okay.
It's
Okay.
hard to do, but you're doing it.
All right. We're at 4 o'clock. Is there anything you need to ask me that you did not understand? Now okay, keep in mind now we are doing the royal icing thing, and that's going to be, got blue icing everywhere. That's going to be sent to the 3 of y'all. Okay.
Right.
That is going to be y'all's as, but it will be a paid tutorial to anybody else, but that will be y'all's. So what else what can I help you with?
Well, I'm not seeing anything on my notes that I didn't already ask. I think I pretty much asked it as we went along.
So you think you're done? You think you're good for now?
I'm
Until
good for
you
now.
think of something. It's not like as if you don't know who I am or how to get in touch with me.
Who are you?
I don't.
Yeah, I think I'm good for now. I think I asked it as we went.
Okay, so you've got the recipes. I sent you all the recipes for the icings.
Yes, ma'am.
When I get all the royal icing done, that will also come with recipes. So all those there, it'll be royal icing plus glaze. And now the cookie recipes won't be in that because this is just going to be about royal icing. This royal icing we'll be using 3 different ones in Lambeth. Okay. But we'll also be using them to do the cookies. So when we do the cookie class, the tuition for the cookie class, though not you, Sue and Barb, but if anybody else were to sign up for the cookie class, they would have to pay for the royal icing class as well.
Right.
So, but y'all have the cookie class and y'all already have the royal icing. So
Right.
is there anything else?
I think we're good, girl.
All right, it's 4 o'clock. So if you're good, thank you.
I'm good. Thank you.
And if there's anything else you need to know, holler at me. I don't know where I'm at so far as doing an intermediate course right now. I don't know. I think probably what we're going to do from now on is video classes, just pre-taped classes that I think it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry about your internet popping out, or if your volume's on or anything like that. You can play it and it's good, and you always have access so that you can ask me questions or whatever. But I think that's the route we're going to take with pre-taped classes, and that way I might can get my kitchen back too at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Good.
You go get those youngins, and you have a great weekend.
Okay, you too. Happy
All right,
4th.
y'all, happy 4th of July. Don't eat too many hot dogs.
Can you eat too many? Have a great weekend.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.